There is not a single country in the world without debt. America's debt has passed $38 trillion. The European Union sits around 14 trillion. Japan is nearing 9 trillion. Oil-rich Saudi Arabia is in debt too. Export giants like Germany and China as well. So yes, everyone is in debt. But let's pause for a moment. If everyone owes money, who actually owns it? This is where things get complicated, because the world isn't really in debt to one country or one institution. The world is, for the most part, in debt to itself. But that doesn't mean everyone benefits equally from this system. Today, total global debt has surpassed $315 trillion. That's nearly 3 times the size of the global economy. So how did we get here? The answer isn't credit cards. It's not mobile banking. The answer is war. The year is 1694. England is at war with France. The treasury is empty. The gold is gone. So the king turns to merchants and says, "Okay, give me money now, and I'll pay you regular interest in the future, funded by taxes." To manage this deal, the Bank of England is created. And for the first time in history, a state can spend money it doesn't yet have. What do investors get in return? A promise, the promise of the state. A promise that can be bought and sold. A government bond. The idea spreads quickly. France tries it. The Netherlands perfects it. America uses it to finance its independence and its expansion. Debt is no longer a weakness. Debt becomes trust. Empires once conquered land for gold. Now they print paper for interest. The battlefield changes, from trenches to balance sheets. Fast forward to today, and debt has become the world's common language. Every country owes, every bank lends, and we're part of the system too, through our taxes, our pensions, our savings. We are both debtors and creditors. Take the United States, for example. Who owns most of its $38 trillion in debt? Americans do. Banks, pension funds, insurance companies, even the central bank. Foreign holders own about $9 trillion. Japan is the largest creditor, then China. So, saying the U.S. owes China isn't completely wrong, but it's only a small part of the story. What's really happening is a constantly spinning wheel. The Treasury issues bonds, funds buy them, and when needed, the central bank steps in, buying bonds and creating new money. Taxes are paid, interest is distributed, money circulates, and flows right back into the same system. And this isn't just America. Japan lends to the U.S. The U.S. funds Europe through the IMF. Europe lends to developing countries. Those countries then take their foreign currency and invest it right back into Western bonds. Everyone is holding everyone else's debt. It's like a table game where everyone borrowed chips from the person sitting next to them. As long as no one stands up, the game continues. But the real referees of this game are the markets. Who borrows cheaply? Who pays high interest? The markets decide. When confidence disappears, what happens? Currencies collapse. Governments fall. Entire economies shake overnight. Democracy decides who governs. But survival is often decided by markets, and at the heart of this system were central banks. They don't just manage debt, they create it. When a central bank buys bonds, it creates new money in return, which means every unit of currency in your pocket is the reflection of a debt somewhere else. There is no such thing as debt-free money. This system has survived for decades on confidence. No one expects governments to fully pay off their debt. Paying the interest is enough. What truly matters is that confidence continues. But when confidence breaks, we've seen what happens in Greece, in Argentina, in Sri Lanka. When debt crises hit, austerity follows, unemployment follows, and society pays the price. And here's the most striking part. These debts were never designed to be paid off. Governments don't plan to eliminate debt. They plan to roll it over. New debt pays for old debt. This isn't a secret. It's the system itself. We try to finish our loans. Governments try to maintain theirs. Because the real product of the system isn't principal. It's interest. The U.S. will never zero out its debt. Japan has rolled its debt for decades, and no one panics. Why? Because government bonds are considered the safest assets on Earth. Banks use them as collateral. Pension funds depend on them. Central banks treat them like money. Now think about this. If a major country suddenly paid off all its debt, the system would collapse. There would be no safe assets left. Money supply would shrink. The economy would freeze. So paying off the debt would actually destroy the system. That's why promises to eliminate the debt are usually an illusion. The real goal isn't to erase debt, it's to keep it manageable. But not everyone benefits equally. Interest flows upward, from workers to investors. That's why debt isn't just a transfer between countries, it's a transfer between classes, and at the top there's no single name to blame. Not China, not Wall Street, not the IMF, all of them. And us, because we're inside this system. Debt is no longer just a burden, it's money itself. But remember this, debt is, in the end, a promise, and no promise lasts forever. If this video gave you a new perspective, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The answers are hidden in history, and I'll show you how to find them.